everybody, my name is Melissa and welcome back to my channel, Hopeful Happenings. Today I'm going to do an AuthorTube writing style tag. This tag was created by Katie Wilson. I love Katie, she's so awesome, and she's actually one of the AuthorTubers who will be joining me in Houston for the AuthorTube panel discussion that's in 2021. So it's a long ways away still, but if you're interested in looking at that, I'll have some info about that below, and I'll also have her video down below so you can go check it out. Okay, so let's start. Number one, what writing rule do you break knowing you need to correct it in revisions? Probably I break a lot of grammar rules. I think my first drafts, even my second, third, they're just mostly me getting the story down and figuring out what voice I want and not so much worrying about the punctuation and the grammar. Of course I do that naturally, but I'm not gonna be really picky about it because I know I'm just gonna fix it later. Number two is, what writing rule do you break and don't plan on fixing? That's an interesting question. I think that word count is one that I sometimes don't follow entirely. I do try to stay in the spectrum of what the appropriate word count is, but I think for some of the past projects I've done, I was a little bit over, and I don't think I'm gonna change that. Number three, how detailed do you get? What details do you think are important in your narrative? Example, the 5 senses. I really feel like having the 5 senses is important, and I do try to explain really well what the setting will be like or how the character is feeling, but I would say I don't usually go over more than 3 sentences at a time of straight detail. Number 4, do you write flowery purple prose or to the point? To the point. As I was saying in the question before, I usually try to sum up all of the feelings and setting descriptions and all that in no more than 3 sentences at a time. I try not to go too far into it, and so you will not see me have paragraphs of description. That's not my style at all. I'm definitely to the point and kind of faster paced novels. Number 5, do your main characters across multiple work in progresses have similar dialogue styles? Example, funny banter, introverted, talkative, standoffish. That's a great question. I'm the author, so there's gonna be a lot of me in all of my characters, and humor is one thing that I really love to have in my characters. So that is something that's probably gonna be similar throughout. But I do also try to make the characters different. So I purposely have tried to make a certain main character in my young adult more confident and standoffish, whereas another character I have in my middle grade, that's the thing that he has to learn. He has to learn to be confident. So he's not so much bold like that. Yeah, humor is one thing that is across the board for all my characters, but personalities, I do try to change them up. Number 6, do you get voice right on the first draft? No. I don't think I get voice right on the first draft. First drafts for me are basically detailed outlines. They're not very good, and that's why I don't let anybody read them. They're just for me to get a story out on paper so I can actually have something to work with, and then I would say the voice comes out more in the second or third draft, and that's where I really start to develop how I want this character to show on the page. Number 7, are you better at first or third person, present or past tense? I think I'm most comfortable with third person past tense. That being said, I am trying to challenge myself, so I am writing a book right now that is first person present tense. And it's a lot more difficult than I thought it would be, but I really like the challenge and I like to explore the character through this different perspective. Number 8, do you pre-plan chapters or create chapters as you write? I do both, I think. I do an outline, and I do make sure that the outline tells me what's going to go on in each stage of the character's journey. But then for chapters, I'm more just doing it as I go, just making sure that by chapter 3 I have done this stage of the character's journey, and by chapter 6 I've done this stage of the character's journey. So that way I have something concrete to look at as I write and keep to the story I want, but I also have that room to just write as I go and just, you know, do what feels right and expand on scenes the way I want them to be expanded on. Number 9. What are your favorite tropes, ones you use or plan to use across multiple books, and tropes you hate and never plan to use? Okay, tropes that I use or plan to use in multiple books. The trope of having a love triangle is like, I'm sorry, it's so good. Like, that's what gets people interested, is that love triangle. So I really, even though it's used a lot, there's a reason why it's used a lot. And one trope that I don't really love and I probably won't use, but I mean, don't quote me on that, I could, is you know, when a character realizes they love someone and they like realize it just as that person's getting on a train or getting on a flight, and they're like, oh no, I have to tell them I love them. That is something that I'm not as fond of, because I've seen it a lot. And I mean, especially in movies, but books have it too, and I think I'm going to try to stay away from that for now, but who knows, I might end up using it one day. Alright, and number 10, the last question is, do you have similar themes, moods, messages, symbols across your books? I have noticed that I have a similar theme of friendship throughout my stories. I don't know why, I just really grasp to friendship stories, family stories, and like the idea that you can never do things all on your own. You need that group of people, you need that love. So in my books, you'll not only see my characters interacting with friends and family as they go through their journey, but you'll see them stand up for each other, you'll see them fight with each other and learn to reconcile and just grow together. And that love that they share, whether it be through siblings or friends, is kind of like the main theme of a lot of my books. Well, there you have it. That's the AuthorTube writing style tag. Thank you so much for watching and sticking with me. I hope you enjoyed the answers to these questions. And now that I've done it, I am tagging you guys. I would love to see your answers to these questions. I'll have 3 people tagged in the comments below, but everybody who is watching this video, I am tagging you. I want to see how you write, what your style is. Please tag me so that I can see it, or just send me a message with the link so that I can see your responses to this writing tag. I hope you have a great day, and until next week, happy writing. Bye.